Okay, and we're back. We have our lost steel from the transmission place. They said that they just had it sitting around, but I think this actually is mine. I mean, they said it was not mine, but anyway, whatever. So, remember we put the last fiber disc in here. I've taken the circlip, ring, whatever out. I'm going to put the last steel in here. And then put the last ring on here. And the end gaps on this ring, I try to catch in a groove, just so they're not flopping around. That's all. Got to press it in there a little bit. It's a little bit of an interference fit. Okay. So this is the completed overdrive assembly. Don't forget we have our thrust washer right here. So we're going to move over to the bell housing provided to me by my transmission guy. Let me clean off that surface a little bit. So we'll clean this off, just wipe it down. You know, in this environment, I try to keep stuff as clean as I can, but you know, stuff is just going to get dirty. It's not perfect. Oh, by the way, this is the overdrive piston right here. That let's see, how's that go? Oh. There's a little piece that breaks off of the gasket right here. This is the overdrive cylinder, and right inside is the overdrive piston. I didn't film the assembly of it. The cylinder just bolts down with a bunch of screws. Torque it down to, I don't know, 13, 14 foot-pounds, whatever the manual said. And this the piston has a couple lip seals in it. Just put it right down. It's pretty simple, so I didn't bother filming it. So there's my gasket, and here is my overdrive housing. Oops. That was the thrust washer. Now let's see. I want to make sure, I think maybe the best way to do this would be to stack the thrust washer on top of this is what's called a selective spacer. This spacer right here, it's called selective because the thickness of the spacer is precise. It's meant to be that thick to achieve the right kind of end play on these shafts of the whole assembly. So I'm just going to set my thrust washer right up there, and then set my overdrive housing on top. Should just sit right down on it, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to bolt it down. The transfer, and that's exactly the position it came from. And then we want to put the band, the reverse, just the reverse band. What band is this? This is the low reverse band assembly. Has to go in, and it looks like it goes in like this with these two things to the right. So we're going to put this in here, and okay. So that makes sense. So yeah, it goes in like this. These two parts kind of butt up against a pin in there. There's a piece of debris in there. Let me get that out. Come on. Was it a bug? I don't know what that is. Get out of there. These two things butt up against a pin. And this is the actuator that actually actuates the band. We'll get into that in a minute. But that's the band goes in, and then the low reverse drum, which is, where's the drum? Where's the drum? There it is. This guy. There's no parts in there except for a inner race that I didn't bother messing with because, well, I didn't feel like it. So that just sits in the band like that, right in the middle. And then I believe the gear train goes in next. Oh, not quite. These two things go in next. The number 9 thrust washer, this thing, and the retaining ring. And there's two little teeth that engage the thrust washer, and then the retaining ring. I mean, I'm hoping. I don't even see a groove there. Does it go washer then ring or ring then washer? It goes washer then ring. Let me get a screwdriver. Where's my screwdriver? Here it is. Doing this in a little bit different order that they tell you to in the book, so this may be why. Right here. Yeah, something is not quite happy with that. Why is that not happy? So that part, well, that part doesn't even move. I'm having a little spacing problem because this ring does not go into the inner race. I don't even know if you can see what I'm looking at. I think it kind of can. And get you a little bit closer. Okay. Come on now. What am I doing? There we go. So what's happening here is that this is the drum that I just put in, and this is the thrust washer, and there's a snap ring that goes on top of that, and I can't get the snap ring to seat properly in its little in the land where it's supposed to go, and I don't know why that would be. Let me pull this out again, if I can. Ow! That really hurt. Okay, I'm just going to pull this whole thing out. I'm going to see what my problem is. See, there's really no reason. That is fixed. I did not change anything in these dimensions. Why am I having trouble? Okay, so it wasn't anything having to do with the overdrive housing. What it was, I did not have this reverse sprag set in there correctly. Remember, I could spin this drum both ways, and I said I wasn't going to worry about that right now? Well, that kind of came back to bite me, didn't it? This drum is supposed to spin this way. It is not supposed to spin the other way. So now it's seated in there properly. I can get the thrust washer. See, that looks better. And the circlip. My hands are oily. There we go. That's what it's supposed to be. Okay? So now we have the gear train assembly. And actually, I had a mishap with this thing. I dropped it. So I hope I haven't damaged it. Nothing looks damaged. But anyway, so now we just drop the gear train assembly in here. I'm going to actually put my in the gear train. Jeez. Criminy. I was trying to be gentle with that. That's pretty cool. Well, anyway, there you go. That's the gear train assembly. And keep in mind, I didn't really do anything with that. I didn't really do anything with the gear train assembly. I don't think there's any seals in there. There may be. If there are, oh well. Remember our clutches? Now this is going to be a bear because there's a set of clutches in there that have to line up with that. There's a set of clutches up in here that have to line up around here. And we just have to sit here and finagle it until it works. Was that it? Oh, I think that's it. I think that happened. Okay, cool. That looks like it. We are getting real close. Oh, and then the band. This band, make sure you can still see. Yeah. This is an upgraded band. This is the old band. I actually kind of folded it into a pressing fixture to get one of those springs out for one of those clutches. But the old band had slots in it. This band has no slots in it. It's got a couple holes in it. But it has grooves for the fluid to go. It's supposedly a better band. So we want to put the band in. And the band goes in here. Right? I remember this was kind of a hassle to get out of there. So, let's see, I think it doesn't want to sit there. It's kind of stuck now. If I recall correctly, this was, yeah, so we have to put in the we have to figure out these spacer things, right? Because the, oh no, wait, crap, I did something wrong. Dang, I forgot a spacer, or a shim or whatever. Oh man, that kind of sucks. So now I got to take this dang, that's irritating. So that spacer, yeah, I missed a spacer. Damn it. So we'll try to remember how this lined up. But I missed both of these. This spacer and that spacer. And I think yeah, it only goes in there one way. So we have to somehow figure out, oh, okay, so that has to go. So I just put a little bit of DC4 on that spacer. DC4 is a petroleum-based compound. It's just a thick goo that I use to put this whole thing together, really. We use it in the aviation industry. Oh, band, that's right. Now the band goes in. We have to figure out those spacers, remember? Yeah, I do. So, they tell you it's got to go in, but they don't tell you how. Yeah, the clutches go in first, and then the band. They don't tell you what's the best way to accomplish this. Wow! That sucker doesn't want to come out of there. Well, you got in there somehow, buddy. You're coming. Okay. Alright. Apparently, this band has a notch in it, and I had it in this way. I'm going to flip it over so it's in this way. That might make all the difference in the world. Seems to be working. Okay, that's it.